Good evening, everyone. Today we'll be talking about neurodegenerative disease. Okay, so what is a neurodegenerative disease? Neurodegenerative disease is an umbrella range of disease that primarily affect the neurons in the brain of humans. And this disease, they primarily affect, they are the major threat in human health, and it's most common among the aged people. We have a few examples of neurodegenerative disease. We have the Alzheimer'S disease. We have Parkinson disease. We have Huntington disease. We have amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. We have dementia. So these are the diseases that we have under the roof. We have multiple system atrophy. We have Sandoff. We still have motor neuron disease. Neuron disease. We have subacute. Acute. Okay. Have combined degeneration of spinal cord. We still have spinocerebellar. So these are the major neurodegenerative diseases that we have. So as I've said, all these diseases, they are the umbrella conditions that affect the neurons in the brain. So for the sake of this video, we'll be talking about Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease. So, Alzheimer's disease. So, what is Alzheimer's disease? So, Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder of recent episodic memory, language. So, as I've said, Alzheimer's disease, I'll put it as AD, is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder of recent episodic memory, language, visual spatial function, and executive function associated with high frequency of neurobehavioral abnormalities at some point of the course of the disease. So, as I've said, Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disease, an example of this, of recent episodic memory, language, visual-spatial function, executive function, which is associated with neurobehavioral abnormalities at some point of the course of the disease. So, when we're talking about recent, so I'll be explaining some key points. The recent episodic memory, talking about the recent. So what do you mean by recent episodic memory? The language disturbance, visual spatial function. So these are the key terms in our definition, as we've seen before. So talking about the episodic memory, so this condition really affects, has to do with the experience of the patient being affected with the Alzheimer's disease. So let's talk about the experience, be it of partial, spatial, or temporal context. So this, when a patient is known to have Alzheimer's disease, there will be loss of context in the conversation. Also, this language disturbance talks about the verbal fluency and word finding. So, a person will find it difficult to pronounce words well, and then find it difficult to get words together to make a complete meaning. Visual function. Yeah. Another thing that we observe is the perspective, perceptual of the person. The perceptual. So we call it visual disorientation. So this is normally common when it comes to the case, the things we see, the symptoms we see regarding the Alzheimer's disease seen in the person. So let's talk about the Alzheimer's disease neuropathology. So Alzheimer's disease neuropathology. So basically, there are two types of the pathology, that is, the disease. So, Alzheimer's disease, and in this neuropathology, this has to do with what we see to make the disease, the disease progression and the symptoms that we see. So, the first the first types under neuropathology, we have the first one, we have the positive. These are the conditions that we observe in a patient. Positive lesions, and we have negative lesions. Alzheimer's. So, under we have those two basic types of Alzheimer's disease. We have the positive lesions and the negative lesions. These pathology, they are actually the disease progress that we see and the symptoms that we observe when a person is having Alzheimer's disease. So, under positive lesions, we have amyloid, plaques, or senile plaques. We have neurofibrillary tangles. We have dystrophic neurites. We have neuronal threads. And why under these we have basically we have three. We have the neurites loss, have the senile loss, and then we have neurophilic loss. So, pardon me here. We have neuronal loss, we have synaptic loss, we have loss. So, this positive lesion, they are actually seen based on the accumulations of some deposits in the brain. So, when this one, we have issue of deposit, has to do with deposits of amyloid plaques, senile plaques, neurofibrillary tangles, dystrophic neurites, and neuronal threads. These are actually seen, the symptoms are seen on issue of accumulation. Why these negative lesions are due to losses. I repeat, negative lesions are due to losses of some neurons in the brain. Why these are due to the accumulations in the brain. So, for the sake of this video, I'll focusing on the amyloid plaques and the neurofibrillary tangles. Neurofibrillary tangles. So normally, elderly neurons have an internal structure called microtubules. These microtubules are like tracks that guide nutrients and molecules down from the body to the axons. So in a healthy patient, the neurons are like this. Let me get the diagram expression of of neurons. We have something like this. We have something like this. Like this. Something like this. Diagram of an LD neurons. So as I said, this is an healthy neurons. It's comprised of we have the microtubulus, which act like tracks. This is the LD neurons, for example. The LD neuron, also which have microtubulus. So these microtubulus, as I said, they are like tracks, as you can see, that act to guide neurons, the nutrients, or molecules from the top, from the body of an axon down to the neuron. So, and this, there's a protein called tau. Tau protein is a cytoskeletal protein found on the axon of the neurons. They act. Let me give a big diagram of this. So we have like this. Drawing microtubulus. By me, an example of an LD neurons. So in this, we have the tau protein, which act to stabilize the microtubules. I'll use this. So, we're just trying to illustrate unhealthy neurons with microtubules and tau protein. So, what's the function of tau protein? They stabilize and hold the microtubules. Microtubules, what they do? They guide nutrients. They have to attract guide nutrients of the healthy neurons. This is a diagrammatic expression of unhealthy neurons. So what happens in an Alzheimer's disease patient or a person? So what happens in this case? So in this case, the tau is chemically changed. They are abnormally hyperphosphorylated, so they form cross-link together. They form cross-links and insoluble deposits outside the microtubules. So they form threads. They begin to get together in an insoluble deposit outside the neurons, And then when that happens, the microtubules will lose its neural structure and they will be reducing binding between the microtubules. Don't forget I said that the tau proteins, they help to stabilize the microtubules, but when these are chemically changed, what happens? There will be destruction in the binding of the microtubules. So in that case, there will be lack of communication in the neurons. Neuronal metabolism will be distorted, and we also lead to neural death. So I want to give a structural representation of what I just explained now. Alright. So we have the sanguine forms of tau proteins. We have the disintegrating microtubules. Just give this. So in a disease state, the condition of Alzheimer's disease, this is what it looks like. The tau proteins, which is meant to stabilize the microtubules, they begin to form threads together. They form threads together, cross-link, thereby distorting the structural portion of the microtubules. And these will lead to the lack of communication in the neurons, and at the same time leads to the neuronal death. So, as you can see, the disease neurons, we get a representation of what happens here. This is tau proteins, which are forming clumps together. So it's distributing the tubules. So let's go to the next one, which is the amyloid plaques.